Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming tenants in 71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. The veteran kicker Robbie Gould set to get us started, and off we go from Soldier Field. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Now it's Fields. Flush to his right. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1. A lot more to go. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. Back deep, Ray McLeod. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. 1st down, here's Mitchell. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. First carry now for the LSU alum, Ty Davis-Price. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind him.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack by Robert Quinn. That sack there, that likely brings out the field goal unit, so they might have to settle for 3 here on their opening drive.
They did some nice things, getting things started there, moving the ball downfield, but taking that sack on third down, that lets the air out of the momentum balloon just a little bit.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Over the middle, complete. That's Griffin. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time, separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Step, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Drake Jackson, that is one that he will remember. His first career sack in his first career game in the National Football League.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play. This is caught inside the 15. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Gold with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Finding room at midfield. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run. 32 yards.
And as you saw right there, this is a guy with pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there, catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 14 yards in a Chicago first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Fields. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And the 49ers are going to get the football here at their own 23.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And they're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Lance going to try and throw on 3rd down here. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here in their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Off play action, Fields. And that'll be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. He's got room at the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. That whole thing was thrown off track thanks to the defense of Fred Warner. Really nice play. On 2nd and 12, Fields. A slant to Jones. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. A little tough on the secondary there. In zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. Back to throw, Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. Fields. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
57 is the mic. Watch 57. Let's go. Let's bring it.
Now Fields. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
57 is Mike. Mike 57. Defense.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Velus Jones with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Bears are back within a score. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. From his end zone, Wilson. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Lance looking to throw it. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, 74 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Caught by Montgomery. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Fields now to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Play action. It's Fields. They'll roll him out right. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Fields. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. Out to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Short kick. One of the up mid will take it now.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
A final shot before half for Lance. And he will find his man, Samuel. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the 49ers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Gold with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Dante Pettis now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thing? Fields hit and the ball is loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. So it's a turnover there on the lost fumble, and this third quarter could not really have started worse.
I think that's a great observation because this was a close game at the half. They gave up the touchdown the opening drive. Now they turn over the football. This game, they can get away from pretty quickly if their defense doesn't step up right here.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now play fake. Lance. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That was Eddie Jackson on the safety blitz, dropping the quarterback.
Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
The kick by Gold is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. Picked off by Fred Warner.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They run over center with Mitchell.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Ambry Thomas.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder, because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
Up the middle, here's Mitchell.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Right back to Mitchell here.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Roquan Smith drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or 2. It's no good, and the lead will stay put at 17.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion. Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Fourth down, Fields has to have this one. Man open, here is Jones. And he is going to have the Bears first down on a well-designed play there. That gets him 16 to move the chains. A shotgun snap, Fields rolling to his right. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Montgomery. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Fields. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
47 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. 1st down.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here, well, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, But they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lance.
And that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll run with Mitchell. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Once more with Mitchell.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on 2nd down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
Yeah, they've thrown for 3 touchdown passes. Now here, I think they probably go back to the air.
Yeah, I think so. But ordinarily, 2nd down is when you run your play fake, your play action, show run, and throw the ball. Now they brought up 3rd down and they'll have to throw it anyway.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Mitchell.
Yeah, he pushed forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Well, if this defense can hold him to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown.
Elijah Mitchell, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the 49ers are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And he is out of bounds here on the return.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Meanwhile, Fields' throw here into the hands of Jones.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
He's going to let it fly. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Niners are going to take over here up near the 40.
And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to